order filled.
Alright, what's good everyone? Welcome back to a new YouTube video. In this YouTube video, we'll be doing another in-depth trade review, breaking down how I caught NQ long today, and essentially how I made $24,000 in about 15 or so minutes. As you can see right here, I use Tradecopia. If you guys want a link to that, look in my description. You're going to find a link to Tradecopia. It is essentially just a trade copier, not for my trades, but for your own trades to copy trade across different platforms, different prop firms. Use code FEAR and you do that, you're gonna get 30% off alongside a 1-week free trial. But anyways, as you can see today, two different executions funded. As you can see, I trim a lot more aggressively, whereas on my live I tend to hold until the entire draw on liquidity until that's met. But as you can see, exact same trade, just a little bit different executions, but we will be breaking down the logic behind both the 1-minute entry and behind the 15-second entry, because both of those are potential long entry that you could have taken. So we're going to be showing the trade recording and then breaking it down after that.
If we're going down, it's in a hand glider. You fucking launched like it was a paraglide, and I wanna preach the truth and everything. It's not a morgue, it's a crash site, so the night burns and we can put out every fire. Pray the rain comes for us to kiss goodnight, amplifying the round up to another sphere. If you see me, I've been like giving. Hey, I left a bit, had enough of it. Did you think of this? Is it everything? Do you think I'm vain? If I've been here for this, can we get it fixed? It's dismissed, hoisted up a sling. Would you look at this now? Would you look at this now? Would you look at this now? Swear, 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 you really understand. We're in the air, it isn't feeling near like swear, 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 you really understand. To fly just like a pilot. Can I have a hit? I'll do half of it. I ran out, don't switch. I'm a right bitch. Don't you call it quits right quick. Do you think I'm fake? Headed like the rest. No stress. I can take a test. I can take a bet.
So hopefully you guys enjoyed that trade recording. I want to get into what I normally do, and that is go over the pre-market analysis, in which I had posted for my private group, my Discord, and all there. So initially, game plan for today was that it's not entirely too clear. I said it was overall 50-50, and we'll trade based off of what New York Open does. The reason for that is because within the daily Power 3 development, we had our daily / weekly Power 3 development, we had a significant gap lower, followed by a 200-point manipulation, followed by a strong reversal with no SMT at the lows. And when I say that, I mean no regular SMT. We did have a different type of SMT, which only quarterly theory traders know how to identify. So if you are a quarterly theory trader, you look through the different time frames, you will be able to see what is hidden. From there, we expanded higher. Now we have SMT with the previous 6-hour high, with a clear drawn liquidity above being the previous day high. Due to that, we were open to both sides, because it's very possible that we'll either return to the low of the day, put an SMT below there, or keep on going higher to the previous day high. However, what made it dead obvious what we were going to do was going into market open, which I posted going right at market open, was that we had removed the SMT at the highs. Now, due to that, we are immediately focused on continuation to the previous day high. And the reason for that is because overall development, overall structure at that moment, go back down to the 15-minute, overall structure is bullish. In terms of our open, high, low, close, it's bullish. We'll go and put on the daily candle. As we can see right here, we have an open, low, and now we're expanding higher. We put in the manipulation, we're now distributing. Structure is bullish, narrative is bullish. We have a clear axial John liquidity higher, which was our previous day high. So everything was pointing for longs, and the only way we could have gone lower would have been if we had an SMT at the highs. And since we just removed it, it means longs are going to play out until that axial draw on liquidity is met. So that is everything that market open was based off of. We had removed the S&P the highs. Now we're going to focus on continuation to the pre-say high, and then said what will potentially, then I said we'll see what sets up. Now there's two scenarios for what was possibly going to set up. And actually, even before I get into that, we're going to go back to that in a moment. But we want to quickly, since it has been 3 weeks since the last video, we want to quickly touch base with the higher time frame. So normally what we do is reference our higher time frame power threes, but there's a slight issue. Our most recent higher time frame power threes, our yearly, our quarterly, our monthly power threes. Now again, we'll use indicators, turn those on. All three of them just had opened up. We are stuck within higher time frame accumulation. That higher time frame accumulation had started last quarter during Q4. So we just been stuck within the previous quarter's range, the October high to November low. Stuck within this accumulation. Yearly, quarterly, and monthly power threes, none of them, not a single one, is giving us anything to trade based off of. So overall higher time frame structure right now is not clear whatsoever. We are just accumulating. Due to that, we don't really have anything to reference. So like, we'll take for example last year. Last year, what do we see? January opens up, 2025, and what do? We accumulated for about a month and a half. From there, we aggressively manipulated lower all the way up until about April, where then April reversed, and we were then trending higher up until October. Now what we're doing again is being in a accumulation stage. So as of now, we can't really have a strong one-sided bias, because for all we know, we're going to manipulate up first and then expand lower, or expand lower then go up. We don't know, so we can't really reference anything. There's no clear higher time frame trend, so all we can do is trade based off of what our lower time frame power threes are giving us. And so due to that, that is why we are more open to either side. There's nothing clear on the higher time frame to make us super convicted in, well, anything aside from what our lower time frame gave us. So that's just something I quickly want to touch base on. As we know, in all of my reviews since like August, we were aggressively touching base on that, exploring that in depth, because it was most clear. Because our yearly, quarterly, monthly, weekly, and daily power threes, all of them were bullish. We were taking trades based off of that, and that was overall what our summer months looked like. That's what even up until October looked like. But then it started to slow down. We started to accumulate, and market conditions just slightly change. Anyways, back to what I was getting at in regards to seeing what will set up. There's two scenarios. So scenario one was, and this is actually what I was hoping for a little bit more, because as we can see, for those who watch the trade recording, you see that I nearly entered last minute. And the reason for that is because I was almost starting to overthink it, because my initial plan for market open was to see a little bit more aggressive manipulation. Now, there's two possible areas in which we could have manipulated to, we'll say. The first area was either this low right here that we had formed at 4 a.m., which had returned to the daily open. So we tested the daily open, aggressive manipulation back lower. Initially, I wanted to see price return to this low, or at least I had the idea, psychologically, it would make sense if we were to return to this low, because when we have manipulated lower right here, following midnight, the true day open, manipulate beneath the true day open, beneath the daily open, we had reversed again without any SMT. So it made a lot of sense that going into New York Open, we would manipulate down, run out this low, form SMT there, and then continue expanding higher. That would have been a very ideal scenario. The other scenario was we came all the way back down to the true day open, just that, didn't need to return all the way down here, return to the two-day open, do something like form SMT with the previous 90-minute low, which was this low right here. We run this out from SMT here, tap the two-day open, and then expand higher. That was my ideal initial scenario, but instead what we ended up doing at market open was come down, manipulate again in the sense of power 3, open, high, low, close, 30-minute power 3, which is our 930 power 3. We open up, manipulate down, put it in the low. While doing so, we then form SMT with ES, as you can see right here. So boom, YM NQ runs off the low, ES does not, SMT. From there, we then immediately reversed and immediately formed a CISD. I think when it comes to this is classified as a true CISD. I don't personally use those, but that's essentially what it's classified as. We run off the low, immediately reverse, and start expanding higher. We do that, and that's literally it. I hesitated for a second, but I ended up entering just because it's like, okay, everything's bullish. Our weekly and daily power 3 development overall is bullish, structure is bullish, and more specifically, no SMT at the highs. We ran out the SMT back here with NQ putting in the higher high right before market open. We removed the SMT. Now, since there's no SMT at the highs, we can't validate a reversal, and we still have a clear external general liquidity above, which is the previous day high. So everything was pointing for longs, and because of that, I was like, okay, I'll just enter. Now, the only reason I was overthinking it, aside from obviously not seeing us manipulate any lower, was due to the risk to reward. As you guys know, I like to enter trades with at least a 1 of 3 or above. This trade only was given actually no, because I have my stop loss right here. It was barely a 1 of 2. Barely a 1 of 2 risk reward, and I absolutely hate anything under a 1 of 3. But just because of how that obvious that longs were going to continue, I just entered. I'm like, forget it. I'm just going to enter. It's logical. Everything checks off. Chances are we're going to deliver longs a lot more likely than we're going to deliver shorts. And that was my initial entry. But I only entered that on my live account. I was still hesitant just because of the size of the stop loss and the low risk reward. I was still hesitant to enter on my fundeds. Where then we got this. A little bit extra confirmation. We held the CISD, so we can treat that as a CISD order block. We held the order block, and specifically while doing so, we then form SMT with the previous 1 minute low. Additionally, while ES mitigates this value gap, NQ does not have one. That's a different type of crack and collation, which I'm not going to be covering right now, but just additionally as a reference. And then YM obviously does not run out the previous 1 minute low. We do that. That was my validation to drop down to the 15-second, and then I proceeded to enter off the next 15-second CISD on my funded accounts with my stop loss at that low, TP at the high, and while my risk reward was not above a 1 of 3, I got filled at, actually I'll show this, my risk reward was still a 1 to 2.7, so nearly 1 of 3, but it was slightly better than entered off the 1 minute CISD prior. So a little bit better, nothing too crazy, but that overall summarizes the trades I've taken today. So again, any questions, comments, concerns, just let me know. Otherwise, if you guys want to, again, if you want to use a trade copier, copy trade your prop firms, if you're trading multiple, such as MFFU, Apex, Take a Profit Trader, TopStep, use code FEAR. If you copy trade multiple firms, you can use Trade Copia, again, use code FEAR, and you'll be able to copy trade all of them, all 4 of them, 3 of them, however many you're trading, all at the same time. Again, it's very cheap. It's very cheap compared to whatever it is, Trade Syncer. And again, with code FEAR, you're going to get 30% off alongside a week-long free trial. So if you guys enjoyed, learned something, and I'll catch you guys all in the next video.